On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy, foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Wonk.
A person who is very interested in or knowledgeable about a particular subject, especially one regarded as dry or nerdy.
Examples:
Book wonk, tech wonk. The political wonk analyzed every detail of the debate.
Investigate.
To conduct a systematic or formal inquiry to identify and evaluate the facts of a crime, problem, statement, etc., to establish the truth.
Examples:
Investigate the matter. Investigate a data leak. The committee investigated several apparent inconsistencies.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Debt.
Something, especially money, goods, or services owed by one person to another, the state of owing something.
Examples:
Debt ceiling. Corporate debt. He became in debt after losing his job.
Decline.
To become gradually smaller, fewer, worse, etc., to refuse to accept.
Examples:
Decline a job offer. Decline in quality. As people age, their digestive capacity also gradually declines.
Wage.
A particular amount of money that somebody earns, usually every week or every month, for work or services.
Examples:
Unpaid wages. Increase in the minimum wage. His wages continued to rise as his skills improved.
Shortfall.
The amount by which something falls short of its target or goal, a deficit or shortage in quantity, quality, or standards.
Examples:
Energy shortfall. Production shortfall. The company experienced a significant financial shortfall last quarter.
Revenue.
The income that a government receives from taxes or that a company earns from its business.
Examples:
Tax revenue. Annual revenue. This graph indicates the city's tourism revenue over 5 years.
Pinpoint.
To locate or identify the exact position in space or time of something.
Examples.
Pinpoint the problem. Pinpoint signs of manipulation. This radar quickly pinpoints the position of the enemy.
Prosperous.
Successful financially or materially, bringing success or good fortune.
Examples.
Prosperous weather. Prosperous nation. The company decided to invest in a prosperous industry.
Geek.
A person who is highly interested and knowledgeable about a particular subject or field, often to the point of being obsessed.
Examples.
Airplane geek. Geek enthusiast. He was a computer geek and spent all his free time coding.
Infrastructure.
The basic systems, services, or features that are necessary for an organization or country, such as transport and power supplies.
Examples.
IT infrastructure. Infrastructure cost. Aging societies tend to require huge costs for infrastructure maintenance.
Invest.
To put money, effort, time, etc. into something to make a profit or achieve a result.
Examples.
Invest in stocks. Invest capital. The government should view children as national assets and actively invest in them.
Excite.
To make someone feel suddenly enthusiastic or eager.
Examples.
Excite the crowd. Excite rebellion. The news of her promotion excited her.
Grace.
A quality of being pleasing, especially in appearance or manner, a temporary exemption, especially an extended period granted as a special favor, a short prayer of thanks before a meal.
Examples.
Say a grace. End of the grace period. The old oak tree stood with grace and majesty in the park's center.
Regulatory.
Having the power to control or restrict something such as business or industry according to rules or principles.
Examples.
Regulatory cells. Compliance with regulatory requirements. In the past, Japanese banks were protected by regulatory control.
Regime.
The organization, a system, or method that is the governing authority of a political unit.
Examples.
A puppet regime. Exercise regime. Totalitarian regimes are less likely to innovate because they deprive individuals of economic incentives.
Call in.
A phone or radio request for a person or group to report to a specified location or perform a designated role or task, A radio or television program that encourages listeners or viewers to call in with comments or questions or to participate in a discussion.
Examples:
Telephone call-in campaign. Call-in show. The radio program allowed listeners to participate in the discussion through a call-in segment.
Halfway.
In or at a point midway or an equal distance between 2 points.
Examples:
Halfway through my journey. Halfway decent job. The famous restaurant stands halfway up the hill.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Prejudice.
A thought or feeling that is unfair and makes no sense, mainly when it is formed without enough thought or knowledge.
Examples:
Deep-rooted prejudice. Color prejudice. This community is free of social prejudice.
Gang.
A group of people who organize and engage in criminal activity.
Examples:
A motorcycle gang. Gang member. The street gang was known for its violent behavior.
Translate.
To convert or change words into another language.
Examples:
Translate a document into English. Translate the emotion to a movement. Translate the text from Italian into English.
Exchange.
To give something and receive something else in return, often with the implication that the items being traded are of equal or comparable value. Noun, the act of giving or taking something in return for something else, a place or system where goods or services can be bought, sold, or traded.
Examples:
Exchange rate. Exchange a few friendly words. My sister and I frequently exchange books as we love reading.
Viral.
Relating to or caused by a virus.
Examples:
Fight viral infections. Detect a viral code. This device can more accurately detect viral pathogens.
Inspire.
To make somebody feel with the desire, confidence, or enthusiasm, especially to do something creative.
Examples:
Inspire a feeling of curiosity. Inspire him to write a novel. The unique style of this martial arts inspired many action film producers.
Coverage.
The reporting or news of an important event, sports, subject, etc., the amount, range, area, or quality of something that something provides.
Examples:
Full coverage insurance. Contractual coverage. The scandal received widespread media coverage.
Compassion.
A strong feeling of sympathy and sadness for another's suffering or bad luck.
Examples:
Feel compassion for the poor. Have compassion toward the accident. His infinite love and compassion for everyone never weary.
Bias.
A strong feeling in favor of or against one group of people, an idea, or thing, often not based on fair judgment.
Examples:
Bias against a big company. Have a bias towards socialism. She researched gender bias in politics.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation-state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Wipe.
To clean or dry something by rubbing with a piece of cloth or paper or one's hand and removing dirt, food, or liquid.
Examples:
Wipe off dirt. Wipe with water. Please wipe your sweat with this towel.
Systemic.
Affecting or related to the whole of something, especially the human body or a society.
Examples:
The systemic arteries. Systemic reforms of the organization. This vaccine causes mild systemic side effects.
Racism.
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people based on their membership in a particular ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Examples:
Systemic racism. Research on anti-racism. The school's lack of diversity was a clear indication of the racism present in the community.
Suffer.
To experience pain, distress, or hardship, to undergo or endure something painful or unpleasant.
Examples:
Suffer a setback. Suffer bad grades. The older man suffers from arthritis and finds it difficult to move around.
Anxiety.
A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something that is happening or might happen in the future.
Examples:
Diagnosis of anxiety disorder. Anxiety for knowledge. She waited for her daughter with anxiety.
Isolation.
The condition of being alone or lonely, the act or state of separation between persons or groups.
Examples:
Isolation booth. The country's isolation. That incident led to his isolation.
Rethink.
To consider again a plan, idea, etc., especially to change it.
Examples:
Rethink a marketing plan. Rethink the role of the manager. We have to rethink our company's product lineup for further growth.
Likewise.
In the same way.
Examples.
Do likewise. Please revise likewise. He is tall and likewise strong.
Backfire.
To have an opposite and undesirable effect to what was intended, to make a sudden noise like an explosion.
Examples.
Backfire big time. Backfire spectacularly. The company's decision to lay off a large number of employees backfired as it led to a decrease in productivity.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples.
A breach of privilege. Privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples.
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Policymaker.
A person in charge of or involved in developing action plans for a political party, business, etc.
Examples.
Education policymaker. Regional policymaker. Policymakers struggle to develop various laws and regulations to address international trade conflicts.
Disadvantage.
A drawback or a negative aspect of something. Verb, to put someone or something in an unfavorable position.
Examples.
The disadvantage of a plan. Disadvantage small businesses. A lack of education can be a significant disadvantage in today's job market.
Capita.
A Latin word meaning head, used to express the amount for each person, any head or head-like expansion on a structure, as on a bone.
Examples.
Per capita sales. The agricultural yield per capita. GDP per capita shrunk by almost 10% for the third consecutive year.
Advance.
To go or move forward, to develop in a positive way.
Examples.
Advance the technology. Advance a cooperative relationship. Scientific knowledge will advance significantly with the power of AI.
Destroy.
To ruin or damage severely or completely, to eradicate or eliminate completely.
Examples.
Destroy the ecosystem. Destroyed evidence. The building was destroyed in the fire and had to be rebuilt.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Nationwide.
Extending throughout an entire nation.
Examples:
Nationwide strike. Nationwide network. This is a nationwide campaign to recruit women into trade unions.
Boom.
A sudden increase in economic activity, or a sudden happening that brings good fortune, a deep, loud, and prolonged sound.
Examples:
Boom in sales. A sonic boom. The high-technology industry is enjoying a boom.
Oak.
A large deciduous tree that is common in northern regions and produces small nuts called acorns.
Examples:
The wine in giant oak vats. Old oak trees. Large oak trees cast a shadow in the garden.
Grand.
Important and large in size, scope, or extent.
Examples:
A grand meal. Grand this year.
Steady.
Firmly fixed, supported, or balanced, not shaking or moving.
Examples:
Steady increase. Take a steady job. The patient's vital signs are steady, indicating a stable condition.
Rotation.
The action or process of moving in a circle around an axis or center.
Examples:
Job rotation. A period of rotation. The rotation of the earth causes day and night.
Splash.
To cause liquid to scatter in irregular drops, especially with force.
Examples:
Splash water. Splash everywhere. The mountain was splashed with snow.
Deem.
To consider or decide something in a particular way.
Examples:
Deem socially responsible. Deem wrong or inappropriate. Regarding earthquakes, some commercial buildings were deemed unsafe.
Unconstitutional.
Not in accordance with the Constitution, equals the set of fundamental principles or established precedents of a country or state.
Examples:
Unconstitutional violation. Unconstitutional action. The law was determined to be unconstitutional by the court.
Reaction.
A response that reveals a person's feelings or attitude. In chemistry, a process in which one or more substances are changed into others.
Examples:
Chemical reaction. Trigger a reaction. There was a chemical reaction of the lime with the groundwater. Counsel. A group of people who have been elected or appointed to make decisions or give advice on a particular subject or in a particular place.
Examples:
Other council members. City council election. The city council voted to approve the new development project.
Swift.
Happening, moving, or capable of moving quickly.
Examples:
Take swift action. A swift current of a river. Her voice was swift, yet ever the last words fell lingeringly.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Drain.
To empty or dry something by removing the liquid from it.
Examples:
Drain water from the swamp. Drain excess liquid. Push the button and let the water drain away.
Destruction.
The act of causing so much damage to something.
Examples:
Path of destruction. Cyclonic destruction. The extinction of several subspecies has been linked to climate change and habitat destruction.
Desegregation.
The action or process of eliminating segregation, typically of races or ethnic groups, in educational, social, or other institutions.
Examples:
Desegregation plan. Legal desegregation. Desegregation of schools was a major social issue in the 1960s.
Recreation.
The activity that renews your health and spirits by enjoyment and relaxation, the act or process of making something that existed in the past exists or seems to exist again in a different time or place.
Examples:
Outdoor recreation. Recreation of the homeland. Basketball is their usual recreation after school.
Rebuild.
To build again or anew.
Examples:
Rebuild a company. Rebuild communities. They are planning to rebuild the house after the fire.
Collapse.
To fall down or give way suddenly, often after breaking apart.
Examples:
The stock market collapsed. Ready to collapse. The roof finally collapsed after 3 days and 3 nights of heavy snowfall.
Firm.
Resolute or unwavering in decision-making or action, strong or secure in structure, make, or composition, reliable, trustworthy, or dependable. Noun, a business or company.
Examples:
Firm grip. Accounting firm. The firm deadline for submitting the project is tomorrow. so we need to work efficiently to finish on time.
Exposure.
The state of being in a particular situation or place where there is no protection from or guarantee to something harmful, the disclosure of something secret.
Examples:
A southern exposure. The exposure of a fraud. The long exposure to the air tarnished the antique tableware.
Toxic.
Of or relating to or caused by a poison, poisonous.
Examples:
Toxic molecule. Exposure to toxic chemicals. This chemical compound is 1,000-fold more toxic.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
Musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Mortgage.
A loan secured by the collateral of a specific property, such as a house, that is repaid over a set period of time with interest, the legal agreement governing this loan.
Examples:
Mortgage payment. Fixed rate mortgage. They were able to purchase their dream home with a mortgage from the bank.
Crisis.
A time of great disagreement, confusion, or danger when problems must be resolved or critical decisions must be taken.
Examples:
Financial crisis. Crisis management. The Chinese word for crisis comprises two characters, one for danger and the other for opportunity.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Aggressive.
Behaving in an angry, energetic, or threatening way towards another person, tending to spread quickly.
Examples:
An aggressive war. An aggressive tumor. An aggressive tide wrecked the ship.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Leafy.
Covered with or having many leaves, of or relating to plants that produce many leaves, especially those that are broad and flat.
Examples:
Leafy canopy. Leafy suburbs. The neighborhood is known for its leafy trees and verdant gardens.
Mount.
To increase, go up, or advance gradually or continuously. To prepare and supply with the necessary equipment for execution or performance. To ride on something or someone.
Examples:
Mount a hill. Mount a counterattack. They mounted pictures on the paper in preparation for the birthday card.
Pleasant.
Enjoyable, attractive, friendly, or agreeable.
Examples:
Pleasant news. Pleasant odor. The hotel staff is very pleasant and efficient.
Foreclosure.
The legal process by which a lender repossesses and sells a property or asset due to the borrower's failure to meet loan payments. The act of taking control of or seizing property or assets to satisfy a debt.
Examples:
Foreclosure proceeding. Foreclosure crisis. The family faced foreclosure on their home after falling behind on mortgage payments.
Brokerage.
The business of buying and selling goods or services on behalf of others, often for a commission or fee. The activity of acting as an intermediary or agent in negotiations or deals between two parties.
Examples:
Mortgage brokerage. International brokerage. I need to contact a brokerage firm to help me invest my money.
Refinance.
To obtain a new loan or mortgage by paying off an existing loan or mortgage, often to take advantage of lower interest rates or better terms.
Examples:
Refinance existing debt. Refinance loan. I want to refinance my mortgage to get a lower interest rate.
Inflated.
Swollen or blown up, especially with air or gas, excessively or unreasonably high.
Examples:
Inflated prices. An inflated balloon. The athlete's ego became inflated by their success.
Balloon.
A small bag made of thin rubber or other light material that can be inflated with air or gas, used as a toy or as a decoration. Verb, to become inflated.
Examples:
Balloon ride. Balloon into a severe political problem. The satellite balloon slowly ascended into the sky.
Prepaid.
Referring to something that has already been paid for in advance, paid for before it is used or received.
Examples:
Prepaid card. Prepaid plan. I bought a prepaid cell phone because I didn't want to be tied to a contract.
Penalty.
A punishment for violating a law, rule, or contract.
Examples:
Death penalty. Corner of the penalty area. The lawyer was reinstated after paying the penalty.
Perception.
A belief, opinion, or image you have based on how you regard, understand, or interpret something, the ability to see, hear, or notice something through the senses.
Examples:
Keen perception. Perception of a stimulus. He is a man admired for the depth of his perception.
Afford.
To have enough money or time to be able to buy or do something.
Examples:
Afford to buy a new car. Afford a high travel cost. He cannot afford a holiday.
Risky.
Involving the possibility of danger, failure, or loss.
Examples:
Change risky behavior. A risky enterprise. It is extremely risky to sail in such a storm.
Stereotype.
A fixed and unvarying idea or image that people have about what someone or something is like, but which is often not true in reality and may cause hurt and offense.
Examples:
Avoid stereotype. Negative stereotypes. Changing stereotypes about LGBTQ requires considerable effort.
Subprime.
Of or relating to financial loans, particularly mortgages, which are made to individuals with poor credit histories or limited income, often associated with higher interest rates and a greater risk of default.
Examples:
Subprime lending. Subprime market. The subprime mortgage crisis of 2008 led to a global economic downturn.
Creditor.
A person, company, etc., to whom a debtor owes money.
Examples:
The creditor's claims. Bankrupt creditor. I asked the lawyer to initiate creditor negotiations for voluntary liquidation.
Racial.
Of or related to the race, equals classification of humans into groups based on physical traits or social relations.
Examples:
Racial prejudice. Racial and ethnic backgrounds. A minor racial conflict later led to a civil war.
Discriminate.
To treat a person or particular group of people worse or better than another, especially in an unfair way, to recognize or perceive the difference between people or things.
Examples:
Discriminate against women employees. Discriminate between different things. You should not discriminate against minorities.
Profitable.
Making or likely to make material gain or profit.
Examples:
A profitable job. Profitable trade. The Prohibition Amendment made bootlegging profitable.
Confine.
To restrict the movement of someone or something.
Examples:
Confine themselves solely. Confine the scope of use. The animal was confined in a small cage.
Bet.
To risk money on the result of an event or a competition, such as a race or game, to get more money, to have faith or confidence in something.
Examples:
Bet on a race. Bet my future. I bet that you know it.
Peak.
The point to which something or someone is at its strongest, best, or most successful, the pointed top of a mountain.
Examples:
At peak hour. The peak current in the circuit. This measurement aims to reduce traffic at peak periods.
Mold.
A hollow container used to give shape to liquid or soft substance, which then becomes solid in the same shape as the container, a soft, green, or gray growth that forms on stale food or objects exposed to warm, moist air for too long.
Examples:
A casting mold. Mold allergy. Mushrooms and mold are fungi.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Trillion.
The number 1 trillion, a million million.
Examples:
Trillion cubic feet. Many trillions of dollars. 1 light year is nearly 6 trillion miles.
Wealth.
A large amount of money, property, or other things that someone or an organization owns.
Examples:
Majority of his wealth. Material wealth. The wealth inequality was unavoidable.
Equity.
The value of the shares issued by a company.
Examples:
Private equity firm. Equity capital market. That company is cautious when it comes to equity investment.
Ownership.
The state or fact of possessing, controlling, or having the right to something, the legal and moral right to use or dispose of something as one chooses.
Examples:
Property ownership. Share ownership. The company's ownership has changed hands several times in the past few years.
Recover.
To return to a former condition, health, mind, or strength.
Examples:
Recover a loss. Recover approval ratings. She is still recovering from a shot to her shoulder.
Advocate.
A person who supports or suggests an idea, development, or way of doing something.
Examples:
An advocate of disarmament. Public education advocates. Advocates of abolishing the death penalty often argue that the alternative heaviest sentence should be life in prison.
Vain.
Having an excessively high opinion of oneself, excessively concerned with one's appearance or achievements, producing no result or effect, or being unsuccessful.
Examples:
Vain hope, vain pursuit. He is in vain searching for a new job since he has no experience in the field.
Convinced.
Completely certain about something, having a strong belief or conviction in a particular religion.
Examples:
Convinced of the idea. Convinced criminal. The public is convinced that the Prime Minister has committed fraud.
Pension.
A regular payment to a person made by the government or a private company that is intended to allow them to subsist without working.
Examples:
A disability pension. Public pension funds. Because of the country's poor economic prospects, the number of pension defaulters has been increasing.
AI.
Abbreviation for artificial intelligence, the theory and development of computer systems capable of doing activities that would ordinarily need human intelligence, such as object recognition, speech recognition, decision-making, and language translation.
Examples:
AI expert. Apply AI technology to art. The evolution of processors has dramatically improved the performance of AI.
Chip.
A small fragment of something broken off from the whole, a long and thin piece of potato fried in oil or fat.
Examples:
A chip of wood. I don't care a chip. We can use this campaign as a bargaining chip in the negotiations.
Uplift.
The process of raising land to a higher elevation, or the result of this process. Verb, fill with high spirits.
Examples:
Uplift mountains. Uplift my spirit. The uplift in the stock market has been a relief to investors.
Crab.
A sea creature with two large claws and a flattened back. Example, blue crab or king crab, a sour or grumpy person who is prone to complaining or criticizing.
Examples:
Crab cakes. Crab legs. I ordered a plate of fresh crab at the seafood restaurant.
Barrel.
A large round container made of wood, metal, or plastic, with flat ends and, usually, curved sides, one of several units of volume.
Examples:
A barrel of beer. $30 a barrel. One rotten apple spoils the whole barrel.
Peer.
A person who has the same age, status, or ability.
Examples:
Peer group. Peer review. Among young people, peer pressure can be pretty influential.
Tempting.
Likely to attract or persuade someone to do something, especially something that may not be wise or safe.
Examples:
tempting offer. Sound very tempting. The chocolate cake was too tempting for me to resist.
Attitude:
the way you think and feel about someone or something.
Examples:
attitude toward mistakes. Attitude control. She had the attitude that work was fun.
Racist:
characterized by or showing discrimination or prejudice against people of other races. Noun, a person with a prejudiced belief that one racial group is superior to others.
Examples:
far-right racist. Racist attitudes. The racist comments made by the politician caused widespread condemnation.
Profit:
money that is earned in business or by selling things after deducting the costs involved.
Examples:
gross profit. Make a profit. This business yields little profit.
Desperate:
feeling or showing a lack of hope and a willingness to do anything because of the problematic situation.
Examples:
her desperate screams. Desperate attempt. He was desperate when he lost all his money by gambling.
Revitalization:
the process of giving new life or energy to something.
Examples:
revitalization project. Revitalization of humanity. The revitalization of the downtown area brought new life to the community.
Immigrant:
a person who has come to a country where they were not born to live there permanently.
Examples:
immigrant communities. An immigrant from the country. Police received a report of illegal immigrants in the area.
Refugee:
a displaced person who has crossed national borders and who cannot or is unwilling to return home due to political, religious, or economic reasons or because of a war.
Examples:
global refugee crisis. The refugee camp. The community warmly welcomed the refugees.
Retire:
to withdraw from one's position or occupation, especially because of age.
Examples:
retire voluntarily. Retire after 4 terms. After working for the company for 30 years, she decided to retire from her job.
Heritage:
the culture and traditions that are passed down from previous generations.
Examples:
heritage site. Historical heritage. The heritage of the city is reflected in its architecture.
Bipartisan:
involving or supported by both of the main political parties in a country.
Examples:
promote bipartisan cooperation. Bipartisan agreement. The legislation was passed with bipartisan support from both parties.
Administrator.
A person or organization responsible for managing and directing the affairs of a business, institution, government agency, or other organization, someone who administers, regulates, or supervises.
Examples:
School administrator, network administrator. The university's administrator announced new policies regarding campus safety.
Boast.
To talk about someone's accomplishments, wealth, or abilities excessively with undue pride and self-satisfaction.
Examples:
Boast of his success. Boast a long history. This town boasts a national park.
Divide.
To separate or cause to separate into parts or groups.
Examples:
Divide the cake into 2 pieces. Divide money equally. Can you divide 123,321 by 11?
Zero sum.
Referring to a situation in which an equal loss offsets each gain, describing a condition in which the total gains and losses balance to zero.
Examples:
Zero-sum economics. Zero-sum mentality. In some sports, such as tennis, the competition is a zero-sum game, with only one player able to win each match.
Expense.
The money, time, or effort incurred or required for something.
Examples:
Enormous expenses. Expense account. For this project to be successful, we must control expenses strictly.
Mess.
A state of confusion, dirtiness, or untidiness. Verb, to fail to do something or to make something dirty or untidy.
Examples:
Have a whole mess. Get into a mess. He made a frightful mess in his room.
Reject.
To refuse to accept, consider, or use something or someone.
Examples:
Reject the proposal. Reject all imperfect merchandise. The company rejected the job candidate's application due to a lack of experience.
Paradigm.
A standard or typical example of something, a pattern or model.
Examples:
Major paradigm shift. Cultural paradigm. He postulated a completely different paradigm to explain all these phenomena.
Injury.
Harm done to a person's or an animal's body caused by an accident or an attack.
Examples:
Without injury. A fatal injury. My accidental injury got better right away.
Hierarchy.
A system in which people or things are organized into different levels of importance from highest to lowest.
Examples.
Top of the hierarchy. Hierarchy of folders. She has taken a step up in the organizational hierarchy.
Pretension.
The act of claiming or asserting something, especially without good reason or without evidence, an unfounded or excessive claim or ambition.
Examples.
Pretension to authority. Baseless pretension. His pretensions of being a gourmet were quickly exposed when he could not identify basic herbs and spices.
Sabotage.
The deliberate and malicious damage, destruction, or disruption of equipment, machinery, or other property, often by someone with a particular agenda or motive, the subversion of an organization or institution by secret agents or spies.
Examples.
Active sabotage. Sabotage mission. The sabotage of the factory's equipment caused significant damage.
Hamstring.
A group of 3 muscles located on the back of the thigh that are responsible for flexing the knee joint and extending the hip joint. Verb. To impair or disable someone or something by damaging their effectiveness, strength, or power, particularly in a way that restricts movement or agility.
Examples.
Hamstring injury. Hamstring his effort. Physical therapy can be useful in rehabilitating a hamstring injury.
Proximity.
The state or quality of being near or close to something or someone in distance or time.
Examples.
Proximity sensor. Geographical proximity. The proximity of the 2 cities makes it easy to travel between them.
Rev.
A measure of the rate at which an engine or motor rotates, often expressed in revolutions per minute, RPM. Verb. To increase the number of rotations per minute.
Examples.
Low rev engine. Rev up the crowd. He stepped on the gas pedal, and the engine released a loud rev.
Asset.
Something or someone that is useful or valuable quality, skill, etc., valuable property.
Examples.
Frozen assets. Liquid assets of the company. A sense of humor is an invaluable asset in this job.